Welcome to our winter wonderland.
We have come to Tromso in the north of Norway for a long weekend. So, let's start the show! Walking around Tromso in December is not easy. There are some footpaths that have been cleared of snow, but elsewhere, such as here, right outside our hotel,
It's piled.
it's piled and it is icy. It's now 9:15 in the morning. The sun will not be rising, but there is a little bit of daylight. What a magnificent view, isn't that right, Paul? And behind us, right, probably just above Paul's head, you might be able to see some lights, and that is going to be our first port of call because we are heading up to the top of the cable car. I think it's called Fjellheisen. Now, I am scared of heights, so I don't know how this is going to go.
You're not flying. It's just a bit like a cable car, really, isn't it?
Yes, but look at it. It's like right up that mountain. It's funny because when we flew in, I saw those houses up there and I thought, what is that? And I thought, okay, does someone live up there? No, it is the it's the cable car station. Just as an example of how icy it is, just have a look at this. See, look at this. It's really, really icy. And I have no grip on my shoes.
I think certain bits are icier.
Well, it's glistening down there, look at that.
This bit.
Yeah. All right, Paul, have a go on that.
But I do have these winter things.
Better footwear than I have. So we have just been to the tourist shop Tromso and we have bought 2 return tickets on the bus which will take us to the cable car. Now, we thought there might have been a combined ticket or something, but no. It's just the bus tickets. So it leaves every hour on the hour to get up to the cable car and on the quarter hour. Yeah, 15 minutes past on the return. The first bus of the day is at 10 o'clock, which is the one we're going to get. And the last bus back, I think, was at 5:15 or 4 was it? 4:15. Oh, in actual fact, I've just seen that there is an old little hut or almost like a tram type thing, a caravan which has got information on it. Let's take a look at that. Be amazed by the most spectacular view in Tromso. So there it shows the daily departures from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And just to confirm, the return is 4:15 because it says it here in the picture that I snapped inside the tourist information office. Now those times are probably for the winter period because if you come in the summer there will be 24-hour daylight, whereas here in the winter from about the end of November until the middle of January the sun doesn't come up above the horizon, although there is a little bit of daylight. We saw the first glimpse of sort of redness in the sky at about 8:30, 9:15 when we were having breakfast at the hotel, and when we arrived here, which was yesterday for us, it got pitch dark at around 3 o'clock, but around 2 there was still a little bit of brightness in the sky. We're on board the bus now and ready to set off in a few minutes. Well, that was quite a ride on the bus, and we have now arrived at the base station of the Fjellheisen cable car. And it's quite a way to the top, so I'm going to have to put my fear of heights behind me. Confirmation of the return bus times.
Alright. Do you want to just go one way?
So it was 990 NOK, and I think that's about £70 for two people, so £45 each. I'm going to double check that.
You just scan the book.
So I have to scan the barcode here to get in. Ooh, and through. This is a very tight squeeze, Paul.
Yes, it is.
And it's very dark. Wow, Paul, can you believe this? There is snow absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing, and there is some glimmer of light behind you over in the hills, and it's quite spectacular really, because you don't really expect sun at all or any light in Norway in the winter.
I think that the sun is sort of like flirting with us a little bit because it's just over that mountain, but it will not rise above the horizon here today.
We should enjoy it while it lasts.
Paul, there's a slide over here. What do you think?
It's frozen.
But at least it'd be easy to slide down.
And I think that there's like a barrier over there.
Oh, right.
So, good luck getting through that.
There's some sort of construction taking place up here. I'm not sure what they're building, but there's a lot of work people around. And I guess they will also keep us safe because there's barriers where you can't go beyond. The snow is obviously very deep. Where it's been trodden on, it's icy as well. But you can hear it. You can hear the people's footsteps as they walk on the snow. And that's the view of Tromso itself. We've all been told to return to the station here because
You guys come over here.
Oh, okay.
we've been told to return to the station area. We were walking down there because a helicopter is coming in to land. So let's take a look. Maybe it's not landing here, but it is going to be passing overhead. You can hear it, Paul. Oh, there it is.
Oh!
It's got something attached to it. Oh, it's bringing something in for the construction, that's what it is. Look at that. This is quite amazing because for the construction they can only bring like one plank of wood in at a time, so it must take forever to build this house or whatever that they're building up here. Maybe they are expanding the tourist attraction, who knows, but we've been told that it should only be a couple of minutes until the helicopter leaves. Well, I didn't know that we were going to see a chopper on today's episode, but when you tune into it, Paul and Marcus, you never know what you're going to get. There goes the rope into the helicopter, and off it goes. Wow. And on the side of this digger, it does indeed say, we are building the new Fjellheisen. So a brand new tourist attraction is being constructed up here. Well, Paul, we have been told that we've only got a short amount of time before the helicopter returns with the next plank of wood. So if we are going to walk anywhere along this trail, it's going to have to be now. Yes, and of course, it is a bit dangerous here. You have to like really pick out your path along here. Well, there's no way I was going to be able to walk the whole way down there and possibly get back before the helicopter arrived again. So I left Paul, he's going on his own, and sure enough, the helicopter has returned with the next piece of equipment, and indeed it is another plank of wood. So here we go again.
So I walked from the new Fjellheisen Foundation all the way along this path, and now I am onto the bit of the viewing platform area or viewing area. This was the bit that we traveled on the coach by, and then this is the main Tromso area. So look how snowy and icy it is, and it is illuminated by all these lights, and it's quite a view to behold. This is the fabulous view from Fjellheisen. We are on top of the hill or the rock, I would presume, and it is covered in snow at the moment because it's winter, and it's such a great view, don't you think? Tromso is in the background, and yeah, I am amazed by how snowy it is, and yeah, and it's quite difficult to get across the snow, which is why I'm doing this recording over here, because Marcus wasn't really able to get across all that snow before. So let me just take you around for a little tour. I'm not really sure where our hotel is, but we are in that main area down over here. I really don't know where we are in relation to that. Yeah, let's go up You could see the light, the daylight in the horizon, but it will not cross a certain point. Let's see what's beyond this mountain.
Well, I might not have gone trekking with you away over there, Paul, but there is a view of Tromso that I think I can get to, if I don't fall, over this direction.
Hold on to that.
Well, this might be an electric fence. I don't think I'm going to touch it.
There is also a viewing platform at Fjellheisen. Oh wow. Oh, this isn't bad. Look, I walked along that path.
You walked along that path?
That snowy obstacle.
Yeah.
And then I went as far down as a bit further than where.
Oh, you're
you see
kidding?
that person.
On that
Yeah.
cliff?
Yeah, but there was a bit further down that I went.
Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't go there because I don't think I would have been able to get back.
I think that there was only maybe a meter or two that was difficult up there.
Yeah.
In this bit, but I think the rest wasn't bad. I think it was just like a small patchwork of snow.
And the chopper is arriving again, so you can see that where we were earlier over there is where people are being held
Yeah.
until the helicopter drops its load, so so to speak. But anyway, we get a fantastic view of Tromso from here. And of course, I said I was scared of heights. There's a glass barrier to about neck high here, and I'm not getting any closer. I've left a little bit of space between me and there because I'm actually feeling a little bit wobbly just at the thought of there. And the camera's moving around, so you can tell that it's windy. You can probably hear the wind as well. Fortunately, if you do want to stay warm, there is a cafe here, and we are in need of some coffee. So let's go and check it out. Wow. So there's lots to choose from in here, I think. And we are back at the base station. Well, it was £35 each to get up and back. And yes, I would think that it is worth it. It's a lot of money to pay, yes. And you can stay up for as long as you like within the opening hours. We stayed for 2 hours and we did go to the cafe as well. It was so cold, I think that we wouldn't really be able to stay any longer. But what did you think of it, Paul?
I think I don't really have words. I think it was great to get a overview and a bird's eye view of the city, and it was great seeing all the snow covered areas, and it was great seeing the sunrise or the sun on the horizon, because the sun actually didn't come up. It was just on the horizon level, so that was pretty fabulous to see. What about you?
Well, just on the sun, on the horizon, it's midday now, and it actually seems to be getting a little bit darker, because
seems
when
somewhat
we
light.
arrived yesterday for us, we landed at around 1 o'clock, and the light was a little bit similar to this, but I think when we were up there, maybe it's because we were higher,
Yeah.
that it did seem a lot brighter. But even down at the base station, there's still quite a nice view of Tromso just over there. Welcome to the food section of this episode, and we've just had our first meal here in Tromso at Kia. Yes, and it was Paul's choice. Bit expensive, but I think everything is around here. We had 2 dishes and 2 beers, and it came up to £56 equivalent, 758 crowns.
785.
But it was absolutely delicious. What did you have, Paul?
A reindeer burger.
And I had a bite of it. It tasted just like a beef burger. I thought.
It tasted not gamey, which is good, because I think gaminess could be kind of stomach churning, but it did taste very delicious.
And I had the Atlantic fish and chips. Is that what it was? Or no,
Arctic.
Arctic. Yes, the Arctic fish and
Well,
chips.
I suppose it is the Atlantic.
And it was absolutely delicious. The batter was amazing from the very first bite, and there was like one huge big bit of fish. I can't remember the name of what fish it was. Some type of
cod?
No, it wasn't. It certainly wasn't cod, because I think it's too scarce. But there were 2 other bits as well, so it was like almost having 2 big
Flakes.
fish. Yeah,
Like
and
flaky bits.
the chips were nice, and maybe a little bit not greasy, but
Too battery, somewhat crispy,
somewhat crispy.
but it wasn't burnt.
But there was a really good selection of dips as well. You had the mayo, and then I had, like, I can't even describe what they were.
They were kind of spicy type of dips.
Well, one was a bit spicy. The other one wasn't that spicy.
Well, they were like a moderate spice.
But it was really nice, and we sat down to eat at 3 p.m. and it's now 4 p.m.
No, it's not full.
Yeah, it's almost, and it's completely dark.
1:45.
So that's our first meal, and I'm sure there will be many more, but cheaper ones probably will be at Burger King for the rest of the rest of this trip. Well, we had a rather nice meal at Cafe San. I had the cheese omelette, and it came with the most delicious onion. I don't know, and tomato salad. And I usually don't eat my salads, but I ate that, although you did eat the leaves. And you had an actual proper salad, didn't you, Paul?
Caesar salad with chicken.
And how was that?
Yeah, it was good.
Now, we got 2 drinks, 2 pints or half litre, as it is here. And I think this might just go down as the most expensive pints that we've ever had. They were the equivalent of about £14.50 each. I actually had to ask for the receipt afterwards, because I didn't get it to start with. And then when I checked the amount that had gone through my bank, I thought, that can't be right, surely. But it was. Oh, don't call me Shirley, by the way. And one other thing, you then noticed that there was a price list for the beers, and those weren't actually the most expensive ones. The most expensive was 309 NOK, I think it was.
It's £22.
22 or 23 pounds
For
for
one.
a pint.
For one.
Oh my God. Well, I would have been licking the glass if I'd got that one.
You would have eaten the glass.
Yeah, I would have kept the glass. We have come into a coffee shop called Bakstub, and we decided to get a couple of what we think and hope are traditional Norwegian pastries, as well as a cappuccino for me and a latte for Paul. So Paul, what have we got here?
I think I've seen this in Scandinavian countries before. I think this is kind of like one of those twists that is a bit like a Danish.
Shaped like a pretzel though.
Yeah.
It looks a bit hard, that's why I didn't get that one.
So I think this is sugar.
Okay.
It's very flaky. I think this is just either the vanilla flavor because they had a chocolate flavor as well. So I do believe this is the vanilla flavor. It's basically like a sweet twist that is flaky and it's baked fresh, so I do really like eating it. But yeah, I think this is the only pastry that we've had so far.
Well, I had a choice of two. There was a long straight one that looked sort of had like a vanilla filling, and then there was this, which is a bit like a claw, a bit like an Eccles cake, but there was a little bit of red there, so I'm thinking of that as jam. So let's try this one.
Is it jammy?
Oh god, it's delicious.
Can you describe it for the viewers?
The pastry it's almost savoury type pastry.
Really? That's a bit strange.
I think it's raspberry.
Are you sure? It looks kind of like cherries or something.
Maybe it is, I'm not sure. It's a jam of some sort. Maybe it is cherry. It's got a very hard, sugary shell on it, which I'm slightly worried about in my teeth.
I think that we have seen stuff like that in the UK before. It looks like an Eccles cake or something.
Well, it looks like an Eccles cake.
But it's not as hard as that, right?
No, the pastry's quite soft underneath, but it's got the hard shell. And I guess the closest thing to what we have in the UK as well, I said it looks like an Eccles cake, but it sort of feels more like an apple turnover. It's absolutely delicious. You can find Bakstub on the main street, Storgata, just checking the name, and it's very easy to find because it's actually right next door to McDonald's, and Paul actually thought that we were going into the Mac Cafe.
I thought it wasn't.
But we highly recommend it. We're on the main street, Storgatan in Tromso, and there's a range of shops that sell specific Norwegian gifts and items, including skins, like fur skins, and also lots of knickknacks, and also there's quite a lot of cafes as well.
Just like this wine bar.
Oh, and wine bars as well.
Vin bar.
Bean bar, and cafe is cafe, so you're not going to be stuck.
No.
And I think it's just fabulous at this time of year in winter, all the twinkling lights above you, so even when it's actually quite dark, and at the moment it's around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun, which hasn't come up, is disappearing from view behind the mountains completely. What's happening now? Oh, we're crossing a road. Okay.
Oh look, there are these what are those things called? Those floaters?
No, that's what I have in my eyes.
No, but what are those things on the streets called?
Streamers.
Sorry.
And if you are really stuck for somewhere to eat and you have run out of money because it's quite expensive to eat here, there is one other option that you might want to consider. And what could that be, Paul?
McDonald's.
Indeed. Other fast food outlets are available. Well, a lot of people come to Tromso to see the Northern Lights. We haven't seen them yet, but we have found the Northern Lights shop, so that might be the second best. Ah, sweetheart. If you are looking for some tasty treats, this could be the place to go. It's a really traditional looking candy store. Well, I've just been into the pharmacist, and one good thing about Norway is that they are still allowed to sell talcum powder because,
really?
yeah, no. And of course I need my talc because of course in the UK you can no longer buy talcum powder, you can only buy cornstarch powder, and cornstarch has a completely different feel to it than talc. Now I understand why it's been banned, but when it comes to items of a personal nature, only talc will do. Bookstore, Paul? Look, there's a lovely map out here. Let's have a look at this. Can you point out Tromso for us?
Oh, we're like over here-ish.
Oh yes, we are.
I don't know, we're like over here somewhere.
Yeah. In the far north, look at that. It doesn't even show all of Norway. But what I'm fascinated by with Norway is the shape of it. Look, it goes the whole way up here with Sweden to the south, the whole way up, the whole way up,
And
the
then
whole way
there's
up,
like Finland to the
whole
west.
way round, and then it's got a border with
Russia.
that country over there that we don't mention,
Oh.
and Sweden
Finland.
and Finland as well.
I think this is Finland.
Yeah, so you've got Finland here, you've
Then
got
that other country here.
yeah, that other country over there, Sweden here, and Norway up here. Amazing. Right, into the bookstore you go. Not sure you'll be able to read any of it, Paul. Not because you can't read, but because you can't read Norwegian.
Look at this skin.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Wow, look at this. I don't think I want that though. And then there's like a reindeer of some sort.
A piece of Norway.
I think maybe this one.
I like this one.
Can we share it, or are you gonna be greedy?
Sure.
You sure?
A bit more.
I think I like the look of like that one. I thought I saw coffee. You want any? So the other day I saw coffee that was like a lot. Like I forgot which brand it was, but it was like about like close to 200. And I was like, what
Well, this
the?
is 55. So this is about
Normal?
£3.50 or something.
Mm.
So you could get one of these.
You want to cook coffee or make hot water coffee?
A hot water coffee
Like in the
in the cafeteria.
Oh yeah, some
Yeah,
test on that.
this one, yeah. Kind
Yeah,
of,
that's
which is a good brand? Is it this one?
but I think
This one?
I feel it's very good.
Yeah,
But
that's the one I was looking at.
But I like the beans
This is beans.
because I have like the
Oh yeah, okay. so-
coffee grinder.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is filtered.
So
That's original. This is.
maybe the bean ones. No.
Let me look up for you. It's time for a drink, and this is Ølhallen. Not only is it Tromso's oldest pub, but it also contains the northernmost brewery in the world. So let's go check it out. Well, what did you think of Ølhallen's? I keep wanting to call it Ølhallen's, like an Irish pub.
Ølhallen.
Ølhallen, and that's probably the completely incorrect pronunciation.
Totally.
But you went and you got the t-shirt, isn't that right, Paul?
Well, I don't think I'm going to be back in Tromso anytime soon, so I need to make memories somehow.
Well, the thing is, now we know that Max beer is produced at the brewery, which is next door to this pub, which of course, as we said, is the oldest pub in Norway. And we picked up some information about it here. It says that Max Brew Pub, Ølhallen, opened its doors in 1928
Oh, wow.
and is today Tromso's oldest pub. The pub is currently serving quality Norwegian craft beer from 72 different taps, including the whole range of products from Mack and the in-house craft brewery. Mack Microbrewery Ølhallen was in the first period a place where fishermen and hunters met the locals to share their stories. Tales were told of rough expeditions in the far north of the Arctic Ocean. The interior of the pub still reflects those stories. Now, I did see that there was a seal on one of the walls, and there was also a polar bear in there. So
Yes.
I'm not sure, maybe did they come from one of those expeditions? What did you think of the beer, Paul?
I chose the tropical IPA because I think I am into them fruity numbers. No, it was
Tropical.
tropical.
It was. I had a taste of it. It was fruity.
There were some citrus elements to it.
Did it have a totally tropical taste? Oh, that's
Yes,
something
it
else.
did. Yes,
And
it did.
I had the Mac 1877,
Did you like
which
it?
I think is something to do with the year that they started. Not this pub, but maybe the brewery or something.
Alright.
Yeah, but that seems to be like a real sort of staple drink. And I think it was more of, was it a lager? I'm not really sure. Really, what?
I know that mine wasn't.
I think it tasted like a lager. I wasn't sure what it was, but I just liked the name. But it wouldn't have been my favourite, I have to say. But we would recommend coming here.
Totally.
Located inside the Kirkenparken is Tromso Cathedral.
So we have just been to Tromso Cathedral, and they are holding concerts between November 28th and I think it's March 30th. So they are holding midnight concerts. So the entry point is 10:30 and the concert starts at 11. So this is a pretty good thing to get connected to the community and to enjoy a lively concert.
Just outside Tromso Cathedral is the War Memorial, commemorating those who lost their lives in the Second World War. We have come to learn more about the area at the Polar Museum.
So these are baby harp seals are called white coats because they lose the white fur after 3 to 4 weeks. It was important to hunt them before they started to melt. The hunting of white coat is prohibited today. That's good. After melting the white fur, the new fur grows during the next 1 to 2 months, and pups turn dark in color. And this is probably the costume that the adventurers and hunters would be wearing. And Marcus saw this. This is them playing cards, I guess, and relaxing on the vessel. That's quite a story. Motherless polar bear cubs.
If you're interested in the achievements of Roald Amundsen, who was in the group of the first explorers to reach the North Pole, then this is the place to go, this museum. It's fascinating. There's all the information that you could ever want to read about Roald Amundsen's life and how he tragically died as well. And of course what interested me were there were lots of newspaper articles, all in Norwegian, but I think one headline stood out, which in any language was Amundsen starlet. He was a star. It cost us 110 NOK to get into the museum, and that is about £8 or £9, and it really was fascinating. But there was one thing that puzzled us the whole way round, or about halfway along. There was a cabinet that had old pills, like from the 1910s, 1920s, and amongst them there was a modern box which was called Become Gay, and I think it was Become Gay 217, and there was a poster as well, and we thought, what is this? It's completely out of place. We only discovered the relevance was when we went back to the exit. There is another exhibition to the right of the main museum, and it explores all the queer history of the North Pole and the Arctic region, in light of new information that has come out about people who lived back in those early days of the expeditions. So I think that was a real bonus to this museum, although it did puzzle us. I was actually going to ask them, what is the significance of this? But it all became clear in the end.
Don't get snowed under looking for our content. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Paul and Marcus, and everything will be right there in front of you. Thank you. So Marcus, it says that it's a micro brewery. So this is the Tromso brewery.
Tromso microbrewery.
Should we go have a look?
I think that because the cost of alcohol is so much here, that we should just have a micro drink. So a small one? What do you think about that?
Let's see what's on offer.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. What's good?
What do you like?
Everything's good. Do you have anything like an IPA?
Yeah. So there's actually two very similar to each other.
Well, we had 2 small drinks at the Tromso
Very small.
microbrewery. Yes, the little tiny ones, because we know how expensive everything is now. And we actually swapped our drinks around. I got a Pilsner, but it tasted more like a wheat beer to me.
And I think I got the lager.
Well, you said it was a
IPA?
stout. It was an IPA, but it tasted like a stout. But both of them were local. It was the 2 local ones they had
From Tromso.
from Tromso. They did have various beers from Spain and also Poland and also from Bristol in the UK. And we definitely weren't going to touch that one. Nothing against Bristol, but we can probably get it while we're over there. We wanted something local. But I think the way to go, if you're here, a top tip, is to go for the little mini one, because it means that you can try out a lot more and save money along the way. I think you may pay more per actual litre, I suppose, in the long run for it, but if you want to try different beers, you could be paying up to like £20 or £22 a pint. So these in here were about 3 something, I think, maybe £4, something like that, just for the small one. So I think it was more worth it. Feeling randy, Paul? It's a
Always.
shop. It's a shop. Well, we made some purchases in Randy, which you'll be able to see on our haul episode, which is coming up soon. But we just wanted to say that it was like an emporium. There were so many different things in there that you wouldn't find anywhere else.
It was magnificent, where you thought, oh my God, am I seeing what I'm seeing?
I would actually describe it as being the sort of place that was almost like a charity shop back in the UK, but actually selling like new stuff, all new stuff, but those odd items that you can't find anywhere else. I'm thinking of toiletries, and I might have bought something along those lines, but tune into our haul episode coming up soon and you'll see exactly what we got.
I must say that the lady in there was really helpful. She answered my questions and she was very, very helpful at checkout. So I must say that she was very brilliant, and I do appreciate her professionalism and helpfulness.
And she gave us a free bookmark each as well.
Yeah.
Opposite Randy, there's a lot of snowfall. They've closed off part of the footpath, and there's a guy up there with a brush or a spade or something, and he is pushing all the snow onto the ground, so it's been closed off. If you visit Norway, you're going to see trolls everywhere, and by that I mean these little sort of mythical creatures, and they've got a whole museum dedicated to them here in Tromso. But we don't want to be spying too much on them. Who knows what the trolls could do, so we will be wearing our secret specs for this one. we had discovered this fabulous gallery of pictures of a back alley with images of all the places in Tromso that we have seen. It's amazing, and they're fantastic pictures. Well, we started the episode by taking a bus across the bridge, and we are finishing it in a similar way. We've just been to 7-Eleven to buy 2 bus tickets, which will be valid for an hour and a half, and it will allow us to take the bus across the bridge to get to the Arctic Cathedral. So the time limit starts from the moment we touch on to the bus, so we're going to have to make this last. Otherwise, we would have had to buy 4 tickets, and it would have cost twice as much. Each ticket was 44 NOK each, so that's how much, Paul? Work it out, about £3 or £4, something like that, not too much. And there should be a bus every 8 to 10 minutes or so we better get going. We could have bought the ticket from the machine over here, but we weren't exactly sure exactly what we wanted to get, especially after we went to that shop over there, which is an art and craft store, and the guy in there said that the buses could be quite sort of difficult to use around here ticket-wise. He advised us to go to the 7-Eleven to buy the ticket. I think that was probably the best option. We've got about 7 minutes to wait now until our bus arrives. We are on board and the timer has begun. Well, that took less than 5 minutes to cross the bridge, and look, behind us is the Arctic Cathedral.
Oh look, I see central Tromso right over there. Hey Marcus,
Yeah?
did you know that I could see the Fjellheisen up there?
Yes, where we started the episode. Right up there.
Wow.
Okay, we have to go. I have to take things very slowly in this ice.
It is about 1:23, 1:24 while I do this recording, and over in the horizon you can see the last remnants of any daylight coming through the clouds, and I am kind of grateful that it isn't pitch black, because it does give you some semblance that it is still daylight outside right now. And this is the main island of Tromso across the bridge.
Really good view of the bridge that we crossed on the bus that took them over here. And here we have the magnificent Arctic Cathedral.
The admission cost is 80 NOK per person.
And that's about £6. We are in the dark. Yes, the sun has gone down. Well, it never actually came up. But the sun has gone down on this long weekend in Tromso. And visiting the Arctic Cathedral was absolutely fabulous. And some of the music that you heard there, if it's been allowed on, was from a practice session of Aurora Borealis, a choir and music group who are performing at the cathedral tonight. And while we were in the cathedral, I was also able to pick up a Tromso city map, which is the first time I've actually seen one, and it was absolutely free. Well, it's absolutely freezing here, so we hope that you have enjoyed this long weekend.
Guys, for those of you that have liked today's episode, give us a thumbs up. For those of you that have not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. It's free of charge. Now, for those of you that want to leave a comment, we do appreciate reading them as well.
And if you'd like to buy us a coffee to help us along the way, there is a link in the description. Well, from Tromso, from Norway, it's bye-bye and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.